Shalom, people. This is your brother, Yael Ben Yehuda, aka Tommy Kurtaw, coming back to you again with another video. Let's go to the book of Exodus, the book of Shemot, Exodus chapter 32, and just take a look at verse 25 and 26. Once again, I'm coming out of the King James Version of the Bible. The book of Exodus chapter 32, verse 25 and 26. Hallelujah. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked to their shame among their enemies. When Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come to me." And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together to him. I'm going to read it again because it's only 2 verses. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked to their shame among their enemies. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who is on Yahweh's side? Let him come to me." And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together to him. Hallelujah. So within these 2 verses, we see something very important, because I want to liken this to Christianity, because that's what I was once a part of, Christianity. And I want to use Aaron's peace and blessings be upon him. But at this moment, this wasn't him at his good at all. He buckled to the will of the people, and he committed such a great, grievous act that brought shame among the people, as it says right here, among their enemies. Because he bowed down to the will of the people, and he created an idol that would be a representation of the God that delivered them. And I want to Aaron and his father, before he became Aaron the high priest, that many pastors think of themselves as priests or high priests. And many pastors, not all, I'm going to say many, because I told you before in a previous video, I know many Christians that do not believe a lot what mainstream Christianity believe. I have many friends that are pastors that keep the commandments, that honor the Shabbat. But there are many that cause our people to go into folly and shame before the face of our enemies, because they have them do things and they teach things that is totally contrary to the Torah, that is totally contrary to the words of God. Such things as, telling them to, do all sorts of unspeakable acts to get their blessings, instead of plainly telling them to keep the instructions of Yah. Because the Bible is clear. I don't know where the verse is, but talk about you should go to the priest. I'm going to paraphrase. You should go to the priest, because within the mouth of the priest should be instructions. What instructions? The instructions of keeping Yah's commandments. They are the teachers of the "Thus said the Lord," to break down how to carry out and make applicable in the life of Yah's people what the instructions were. The priest's job goes beyond just doing sacrifices. They are also the teachers of God's people. Let's look at verse 26. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who is on Yahweh's side? Let him come to me." And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together to him. When I look at this verse, I see this as, if you're truly saying that you're with Yah, if you're truly saying that you have cling to, that you have grasped, that you have completely embraced the God of your forefathers, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that you have embraced him and him alone, that you must prove that you are on Yah's side by coming to Moses. And what do I mean by coming to Moses? When I say coming to Moses, I am using Moses as a code, so to speak. Moses represents the instructions and the commandments of God. Some people call them the laws of Moses. So if you come to Moses, that means you are coming to that which Yah handed down to Moses to give to our ancestors. This is something that should be kept by all Israelites from generation to generation. So we have to forsake the makings of any idol god, the making of anything that will bring shame to us as the people of the book. We have to denounce the idol gods that Aaron's make for us because of either the pressure of certain people that pressure certain pastors, and then there's just some pastors that do what they want to do because they have made themselves their own gods and their word goes. But some of the things that they say have actually led our people into deep shame and sin and folly in the presence of our enemy, and most of all in the face of Yah, our God, our power, our Father, our Creator. So I will say this again from what is stated in verse 26. Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, "Who is on Yahweh's side? Let him come to me." So there it is. If you are truly saying that you are on the side of Yah, you must come to Moses. And when I say you must come to Moses, you must embrace the teachings and instructions that Yah gave to our teacher, Moses. This is your brother and your friend, Yael ben Yehuda, aka Tommy Kurtah. Shalom, love, and blessings.